played basketball today and yesterday and the day before, and I'm sore.
I know. We live together.
Can I have a massage, though?
I'm not going to give you a massage.
Why?
Why would I give you a massage?
Why not?
Because we're two dudes.
We're not. It's not gay.
I didn't say
It's
it was...
not even if it was gay. It's not like you could get in my pants anyway.
We've been friends for a long time now, and we're probably going to be friends quite a while into the future.
You're gonna have to be
Unfortunately,
at this point, yeah.
I don't think we're ever going to breach the massage level of friendship. I just don't see myself going there.
That's bullshit. I didn't go into this thinking I wouldn't get a massage ever.
You have weird expectations for friendship.
It's the Bible reloaded, logic explosion, like Jesus and Moses, but it's Hugo and Jake. The Bible is jaded, and most of it taken, so get educated with Hugo and Jake. Pull up, stop doing, stop what you're doing, it's Bible reloaded time. They call it debated, the theists will hate it, like talking to taken, but it's Hugo and Jake. So on with the show then, it's not candy coated, it's the Bible reloaded, with Hugo and Jake, with Hugo and Jake.
Hello everyone, I'm Hugo.
And I'm Jake.
And this is the Bible Reloaded, the Atheist Bible Study. So,
We're back. We're reunited.
we live together.
Reunited and it feels
That's the most you can
so
sing without paying
good.
for it.
Yeah, that's
Legally.
fair.
I think it's like 3 seconds.
Oh, well, you cut me off. That's fine. No, reunited with the fans, the people that
Oh,
watch.
they
Not
don't
you.
care.
Not you.
They don't even like
We
us.
watched The Flash today.
Anyway. Last time what happened was we got a lot of King Solomon dick stroking. So King Solomon was talking about how great he is.
Yeah.
I'm assuming he wrote this in the fictional sense, like how The Great Gatsby is written by a friend of Gatsby, but really it was F. Scott Fitzgerald. Don't tell anyone. Anyway.
But more. We get more stroking, a little bit of ball licks.
This one, we find out that Solomon has the design sense of a Persian club owner, so that's good.
Yeah.
And other than that, Solomon fucks up, and some polygamy happens. Like not
Lots.
just super polygamy.
Yeah.
I would go to say it's super polygamy, but
Like Super Polygamy Prime XX Turbo. It's like the 13th.
so
in
it's
the,
like
in the
it's like a,
sequel.
it's like a Street Fighter game.
Yeah, it's like
Street Fighter 2.
It's like one of
Turbo
those
EX Deluxe.
Japanese fighting games that you're like, okay, we get it, and it has J-pop in the background.
Don't you dip on in the one that holds you
I just said Tai Tai Shaka Tai. Those are my Japanese sounds. We offended every Japanese person. I don't know your language.
They're far away. It's fine.
Your language is fast and more complex than my brain can handle.
1 Kings, chapter 10, verse 14, Solomon's splendor.
Okay, when I die, not if, I want my biographical book, the whole thing, to be called Jake's Splendor.
Okay, I'll get that done for you.
And the cover has to be me recreating that shot with Janet Jackson where someone holds her boobies, but I want someone to hold mine.
Can it be me?
No.
I won't massage you, but I'll do that. Anyway, the weight of gold that Solomon received yearly was 666 talents.
Whoa!
Not including the revenue from merchants and traders and from all the Arabian kings and the governors of the territories.
That's as many talents as Satan gets.
666, yeah. For reference, that is 1.5 billion, with a B, in dollars today if you had that much gold.
Not too shabby.
That's more gold than any single person has in the world, I guarantee that.
I don't know how much is in Fort Knox, but I think the value might have been might be better back then. Like you can go further. Although Egypt's right around the corner and they have a lot of gold.
This is very devalued.
Yeah.
King Solomon made 200 large shields of hammered gold.
Himself?
Yes, he's like a Iron Man from the first Iron Man. He just sits there smelting with his
In a
Eastern
cave?
European friend. Yeah. They have lots of caves back then. Surplus of caves and gold. What are you going to do with it?
Smash it into shields, obviously.
600 shekels of gold went into each shield. He also made 300 small shields of hammered gold with 3 minas of gold each. What's a mina? I don't know.
It's 3 to 3/4 pounds. The annotation says, or perhaps it's a reference to a double minas. That is about 7.5 pounds. So because they think that a 3-pound shield isn't worth it. By the way, gold, not a typically good defensive metal.
He's just showing off again. The Persian club owner thing.
Are these just for show?
They're decorative shields.
Oh, all right.
King put them in the palace of the Forest of Lebanon. So see, they're just going in a palace. No one's even using them. He's just like, hey, look at all my shields I made. They're useless.
It's basically like giant sequence at that point.
Yeah, pretty much. He bedazzled his palace.
Oh.
Then the king made a great throne covered with ivory and overlaid with fine gold. That's not tacky at all, Solomon. Good job. The throne had 6 steps, and its back had a rounded top. On both sides of the seat were armrests with a lion standing beside each of them.
A real lion? No, it's always shown as a gold one, but I like to think that he had trained lions for all of the lions that he's going to have in this.
12 lions stood on 6 steps, one at either end of each step. Nothing like it had ever been made for any other kingdom. You haven't been to Westeros. All of King Solomon's goblets were gold, and all the household articles in the palace of the Forest of Lebanon were pure gold.
Pure gold?
That's a bad idea. You're gonna get poisoned. Gold is poisonous to ingest, like in certain amounts.
Not in Goldschlager. TM.
It is trademarked. If we say it, it's all right.
Yeah.
Nothing was made of silver because silver was considered of little value in Solomon's days.
I like this sentence because very soon they will say, and then there's a shit ton of silver.
Why would people
Get your fucking facts straight.
Why would people have a ton of silver if it's not valuable? Like, is it just sitting on the road? You have to, like, take effort to get silver out of places.
Like, literally, in 2 sentences from now, they're going to talk about a bunch of silver, and then later on it's going to be like, everyone had
just wait, we're going to talk about it then, too. And you're going to be like, why didn't they continue talking about it then? You were just talking about silver. You're right. The king had a fleet of trading ships at sea, along with the ships of Hiram. Once every 3 years, it returned carrying gold, silver, and ivory, apes, and baboons.
Apes and baboons?
That'd be a fun ship. What are you guys carrying? You know, gold, silver, various monkeys.
Monkeys? Why do you have them? To fuck them. It's a 3-year trip. What are we gonna fuck? Not each other. No homo, bro. This is a no homo bro ship.
Don't mean to be a pain in the YouTube comments, but apes actually aren't monkeys. They don't have tails.
And it's not called baboons. You said it weird. Yeah, we know. Fuck you, theoretical commenter.
We stopped someone in their tracks.
Yeah,
Our job.
The rest of you are gonna do it ironically because you're funny.
You're not funny.
We're funny. We're barely funny. We're not funny.
You're listening to us though.
Kind of.
So
Usually they're playing like video games and just we're on.
Hey, what video game you playing, people who are not paying attention? Maybe some Guild Wars?
Probably Halo, Skyrim, Fallout, World of Warcraft, League, and Dota. I'm going to go with those are our top ones.
Those are probably correct. King Solomon was greater in riches and wisdom than all the other kings of the earth. I don't know how did they go and survey Native American rulers? Or
No,
they like,
no.
Hey, how are things going in Tenoctolon today? Yes, I know that also didn't exist at this point. God damn it, YouTube! Will you just take a joke? The whole world sought audience with Solomon to hear the wisdom of God had put in his heart. And by the whole world, they mean, that small section of the Middle East.
Tiny, current Israel and Palestine, and a little bit
Probably
of Egypt.
not even all that.
A little bit of Egypt.
Year after year, everyone who came brought a gift, articles of silver and gold. Why they bring in silver? Silver's supposed to be useless. Fuck them. Like, imagine if someone was like, hey... Because they literally say silver is, as numerous as rocks. Yeah. So imagine someone came up to you and like, I got a gift for you. It's a rock, and it's not the 70s, so pet rocks aren't trendy. I'd be like, fuck you, and I'd throw the rock at them. The police would be on my side, frankly.
He's hard to buy for at the holiday times. Hugo, not the king.
Robes, weapons, and spices, horses, and mules. So he got a whole bunch of stuff.
Robes, weapons, and spices... That's a really good combo.
Yeah.
He just wears his new robes, has some spices with him.
Rides a mule.
Yeah.
Solomon accumulated chariots and horses. He had 1,400 chariots and 12,000 horses.
That actually is a good ratio, I think.
Yeah,
We finally have a good horse-to-chariot ratio in the Bible.
That's why Solomon's so wise. He figured out the right number of horses to have an efficient, very fast chariot.
He discovered that counting each one of them is probably good practice.
He kept them in the chariot cities and also with him in Jerusalem. The king made silver as common in Jerusalem as stones, and cedar as plentiful as sycamore fig trees in the foothills.
Did they plant a lot of cedar trees?
They must have, and somehow they produced more silver. Even though it's worthless, we're still going to take the time to mine it for some reason.
We're skipping the part where they said they had chariot cities, though. It's like Mad Max. They have Bullet Town, and that's the only thing they do. They have chariot cities.
It's like Ben-Hur all day. Solomon's horses were imported from Egypt and from Q.
Q is probably Cilicia, which sounds like it's in the Mediterranean. I don't know where that's at.
The royal merchants purchased them from Q at the current price. Well, yeah, that's a statement of fact. Purchased them from Q at the current price. I'd assume so.
Right?
Are we supposed to assume they bartered? Like, they may have bartered, but any price is the current price because you bought it. That's just a logical constant. They imported a chariot from Egypt for 600 shekels of silver and a horse for 150. They also exported them to all the kings of the Hittites and of the Arameans. Now, that was just showing how tacky and superfluous Solomon's possessions are.
So you see, you have the Persian club owner. You're spot on with that. Tracksuit, gold chains, chest hair. Oakley's probably new Adidas for every day. He says things like, I pop bottles.
Now we're going to get into something even better, and this is Solomon fucking up, because for as wise as he is, no one can not fuck up in the Bible for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's weird to me usually, too, because often in, children's books, they'll always talk about David and Solomon and all these people as heroes of the Bible. They're all cunts.
Yeah.
They are all cunts.
And they're all written to be that.
Yeah, so...
They're all supposed to fall from grace. And so they're not heroes at all.
No. Read the Bible, people.
They're just shit. Although one of them kills people with a jawbone. No.
I'd like to think because we read to people and talk about things, I'd like to think LeVar Burton would be proud of me.
No.
He's probably not.
No.
Not in actuality, but the LeVar Burton in my head, who's a third...
Headcanon LeVar?
Yeah, who's a third Reading Rainbow guy, a third Geordie, and a third Kunta.
Ooh.
They're all proud of me up here.
I was just going to go a third Reading Rainbow guy, a third Geordie, and a third just LeVar Burton.
No, fuck LeVar Burton. So then, chapter 11, Solomon's wives. This is going to be good. King Solomon, however, loved many foreign women besides Pharaoh's daughter.
Ooh, he's got a thing for the ladies with a little bit of exotic going on. Is he the type of guy that calls black people Nubian?
Probably. He's got the desert fever.
Desert fever?
It's like jungle fever, but it's in the desert.
But for desert things.
Just different hues of dark than he is. Moabites, Amorites, Edomites, Sidonians, Hittites, they were from nations about which the Lord had told Israelites, you must not intermarry with them, because they will surely turn your hearts after their gods. God against interracial marriage.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, Solomon held fast to them in love, and by love we mean he fucked them daily.
All the time. I mean, it's not the first time we've had a king with multiple wives, but this guy... I mean, he's the Wilt Chamberlain before Wilt Chamberlain was... Famously, Wilt Chamberlain slept with 10,000 people. That's a lot of people.
That is a lot of people.
That's so many people. I don't even want to. I don't even want to have sex 10,000 times in my life.
No, that does not sound appealing. He had 700 wives of royal birth. Where the fuck are 700 royal-born people in the Middle East? 700? Are there 700 kingdoms?
A lot of sisters.
Even assuming some of them are sisters, 700?
No, just cut it in half. Assume he's got 2 from each place. That's 350.
That's 350 royal families in the area.
Is royal being used really loosely here? It's I don't know, most popular girl in school?
Some guy has a farm with 2 acres, you have some daughters, they're royal, you're sovereign. Sure. 300 concubines and his wives led him astray.
If you have 700 wives, you need the 300 side pieces?
Once you have enough wives, they're all basically concubines.
Yeah,
really. If this were true, also, the entirety of the Middle East would be populated by Solomon's descendants because he fucked all these women without protection.
It's amazing. It's just amazing.
On the bright side, Solomon could get all of them pregnant. Even if he got everyone pregnant 100% of the time when he had sex with them, and by the time he got back around, they wouldn't be pregnant anymore. As Solomon grew old, his wives turned his heart after other gods, and his heart was not fully devoted to the Lord his God, as the heart of David his father had been. He followed Ashtoreth, the goddess of the Sidonians, and Molech, the detestable god of the Amorites.
Ooh.
Molech, especially detestable for some reason.
Yeah.
So Solomon did evil in the eyes of the Lord. He did not follow the Lord completely, as David his father had done.
David didn't do that, though, right?
No, David was detestable, and it even says in the Bible, David didn't do what God said. David had sex with a woman who had a husband, and God punished him for that.
Maybe they're drawing a distinction between believing in other gods.
I don't know, rose-colored glasses. Seriously, every time a king dies, the previous king was always godly and perfect,
Right.
except in their own story where they're terrible assholes who have a downfall because of their human hubris or whatever. On a hill east of Jerusalem, Solomon built a high place for Chemosh, the detestable god of Moab, and for Molech, the detestable god of the Amorites. He did the same for all his foreign wives, who burned incense and offered sacrifices to their gods. Well, that's probably a lot of temples and stuff he built, or at least places to sacrifice.
I don't think there's that many relics of that in the area, though.
No, there's not.
Oh, okay.
The Lord became angry with Solomon because his heart had turned away from the Lord, the God of Israel, who had appeared to him twice.
When?
I don't know.
Did we skip it?
It's irrelevant. Just assume it's true. Although he had forbidden Solomon to follow other gods, Solomon did not keep the Lord's command. So the Lord said to Solomon, since this is your attitude, he sounds like
It's like as a teenager.
Yeah. Since this is your attitude, and you have not kept my covenant and my decrees which I have commanded you, I will most certainly tear the kingdom away from you and give it to one of your subordinates.
Oh.
Nevertheless, for the sake of David your father, who's dead, but whatever, I will not do it during your lifetime. I will tear it out of the hands of your son. Yet I will not tear the whole kingdom from him, but I will give him one tribe for the sake of David my servant, for the sake of Jerusalem, which I have chosen.
See, stuff like this, when you read it and you think, you put it in present tense, you're like, Solomon's a bad guy and he fucked up and God is, doing this righteous thing, if you're Christian, obviously. But this is all in the past when it's being written.
I assume...
So it's just explaining why things fail.
Yeah, I assume the reason is because someone decided, Solomon's son lost the kingdom.
How did that happen?
Here's why, and they give a justification in their own mythology. That's probably what's happening, because this wasn't...
certainly.
As we're reading it, it wasn't written as it was happening. Like, It's not like a movie. It's not happening in front of your face.
This isn't one of those ladies that types during the court cases.
Yeah, this is like a pseudo-historical, mythological record of things that are based on things that may or may not have happened.
And the reason it comes up with such inaccuracies and stuff is not because they kept good records, obviously, but because they were really oral people, the Hebrews. And so this kind of thing would have been spoken aloud, which is why in Hebrew, actually, they sing these stories out loud.
Yes, Hasidic Jews.
That's the one. And they have that really cool, weird look at the place where I'm at on the book. What's that called?
I don't know.
Oh, well, I want one for this show. We deserve it.
All right, then. Solomon's adversaries in chapter 11, verse 14. Then the Lord raised up against Solomon an adversary, Hadad the Edomite, from the royal line of Edom. Earlier, when David was fighting with Edom, Joab the commander of the army, who had gone up to bury the dead, had struck down all the men in Edom. Joab and all the Israelites stayed there 6 months until they had destroyed all the men of Edom. So
they have beef.
Yeah, they have beef. But they said they stayed there for 6 months and slaughtered all the men. This is interesting and a contradiction because later in 2 Kings 8:22 they talk about the men of Edom and they have an uprising. So they're there again. I don't know why. They must not have killed all of them then.
Did they repopulate?
With one guy, because one survives, and that's his origin.
I won't read where he goes, but so the Edomites shouldn't be a thing anymore.
No, basically here it says he killed them all, but later they exist again.
Right.
So basically they probably had a fight with some Edomites, killed a couple of them, and were like, we killed all of them! Write it down, it's true! But Hadad, still only a boy, fled to Egypt with some Edomite officials who had served his father. So if Edomite officials, who I'm assuming aren't women, got away, they didn't kill all the men. God. They set out from Midian and went to Paran. Then, taking people from Paran with them, they went to Egypt, to Pharaoh, king of Egypt, who gave Hadad a house and land and provided him with food. Pharaoh in the Bible always seems like such a nicer guy than he seems like he would have been in real life.
Yeah.
Like, it seems like being the god king of Egypt, as people would consider you, would kind of make you a dick.
Maybe, I guess. I don't know how that kind of thing would work. The assumption is that he was kind of an asshole because he wielded, or she later on, wielded like unlimited power. Like there's nothing you could do because he was a living god.
Yeah. That's what happened to the Emperor in Star Wars.
And also, you have, and this is a problem from all sorts of kingdoms, you have this hierarchy from birth.
Yeah.
So if a king dies too early, you have a fucking 12-year-old in charge of everybody, and it's like, Tutankhamun didn't work out.
It's okay. He's famous now, and that's what's important.
Because he got his head bashed in.
Oh, well, what are you going to do? Have
and
fucked up knees.
I was going to say, he was all fucked up and weird looking.
Pharaoh was so pleased with Hadad that he gave him a sister of his own wife.
It's his wife's sister, basically. It's just a weird way to say that.
Yep. Queen...
I'm going to go say Tapines.
Tapines?
Sure. Interestingly, cannot find a single Queen Tapines anywhere in historical record other than something referencing this passage. I don't know what that means, but I looked really fucking hard, and if anybody knows anything about this, please let me know, because it was driving me crazy.
Because they name her specifically. It's not like they just said the Pharaoh's sister.
And when they do that, I'm a history guy, so I was interested, and I was like, I want to learn about her, and there's nothing.
There's nothing.
So, help.
The sister of Tapines bore him a son named Genubath, whom Tapines brought up in the royal palace. There Genubath lived with the Pharaoh's own children, and while he was in Egypt, Hadad heard that David rested with his ancestors and that Joab, the commander of the army, was also dead. Then Hadad said to the Pharaoh, "Let me go that I may return to my own country."
This is very Moses-y.
This is also very retconny. It's like, oh, behind the scenes when all this other stuff was happening, here's what also was happening.
Yeah.
This seems like a season 4 we are out of ideas thing. What have you lacked here that you want to go back to your own country? Pharaoh asked. Nothing, Hadad replied, but let me go.
Oh.
And God raised up against Solomon another adversary, Rezon, son of Elida, who had fled from his masters, Hadadezer, king of Zobah. When David destroyed Zobah's army, Rezon gathered a band of men around him and became their leader. They went to Damascus, where they settled and took control. Rezon was Israel's adversary as long as Solomon lived, adding to the trouble caused by Hadad. So Rezon ruled in Aram and was hostile towards Israel.
What did Hadad do?
Just did things. Just
Okay.
did things.
So Solomon's about to be fucked with for a long time because of retcon people we added into the story?
Yeah, basically.
Oh, good.
And next time, Solomon's gonna die. He had a short-lived career, but don't worry.
It's good because I'm nothing like David.
Yeah.
I mean, we're still gonna get Solomon stuff because he wrote a lot of things apparently.
Yeah.
He is credited with Proverbs and Song of Songs and some other shit. So we're still gonna encounter him, but it's not gonna be like David.
Yeah. So, I guess that's it. If you want to, you can always donate to our Patreon.
You can follow Hugo at Hugo Reloaded.
You can follow Jake at Bible Reloaded.
You can subscribe because this was the best thing you've ever seen in your life.
Oh, that's a sad life.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know.
That's like one of those people
They're inside their parents' basement watching YouTube, and they haven't experienced much.
That's probably true.
So now that you've watched this, and we've gotten a review from you, and hopefully a subscription, go out and live, goddammit.
Live your life. Yeah. There are so many things out there worth experiencing.
Mushroom and Swiss cheeseburgers.
And things not including food.
Rollerblading.
Rollerblading? I don't think that's a thing people
Or
do anymore.
Skating, whatever.
Oh, no. Get the inlines, my friend.
Yeah.
If you want to be extreme like the people from the 90s.
You could be one of those people outside car washes that spin the signs.
That's a thing you can be. You could be a Persian nightclub owner.
There you go. Unless you're not Persian, in which case you'd just be a nightclub owner.
So sandwiches, sign spinners, Persian nightclub owners,
and the other thing,
and rollerblading. Those are the things you can be. Go be one of those.
Go be rollerblading.
Yeah, sure. Whatever. Yeah. Be an abstract concept. It's your life. So thanks everyone. Until next time, I'm Hugo.
And I'm Jake.
And this has been the Bible Reloaded. And next week, maybe I'll give Jake like a half-foot massage and we'll see where it goes.
No, I'm too ticklish. I don't want that.
Okay, maybe we'll start with like shoulders and we'll kind of see where my courage lies after that.